Okay, my camera turned off. That was annoying. So, just pick up where we left off. I'm sorry about that. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm going to raise this lip a little bit now that I've separated it, and don't worry about the sides here. We'll work on the sides in a little bit. So now that I want to raise that lip, I'm going to try this one because it has that curve that I need. I don't want to change the shape that I have already. So I'm going to go in, stab in, and push up from the inside of that lip, like, you know, this way. Just like that, okay? So I'm stabbing in, going internally into that clay, and I'm pushing up. Now I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to press it down on both sides and watch your work here and make sure that you're not distorting it. And my strong advice is when you're learning to sculpt the face and you're wanting to now I'm going to switch to my X-Acto because I have clay in here that I want to put into the base to get it away from the lip. Now you have to remember that the lip is hollow, so I'm going to cut up into the lip, and I'm going to remove what shouldn't be there. Otherwise, think of it in terms of cotton mouth. You wouldn't have a bunch of cotton stuffed in your mouth. It would look like you did. So you see how that frees up all that area? I'm going to come up in here and I'm going to cut up into the mouth, and then I'm just going to take that piece out. Okay. Now I'm going to push down on both sides. Okay. I'm going to come over here and I want to take away some of that right there on this side. Okay. Now I'm going to use my X-Acto and I'm going to press downward. I'm going in and downward towards the bottom lip. And of course I'm pressing upward into the top lip because I want to take all that extra clay and press it back into so that it kind of calms down. Now what I want to do is I think I want to use my ball tool and go up in here and just, this kind of helps put everything back together. You know, all the little pieces. It's small enough tool that you can get up in there, but it also cleans up the area by pressing that clay back into the foundation piece. Okay. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to, now that I have my top lip not so bowed, which is what I'm wanting, I'm going to take both my fingers and I'm going to push up but I'm going to watch what I'm doing because you don't want to put the bow back into the top of the lip. Okay, now that I've done that, I have raised up the sides of my bottom lip with my thumbs, and I'm working this right here. And remember, we're going to add to the top and add to the bottom lip. But now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put my wrinkles back into the lip. If you begin to see, now I'm using Primo and it's wanting to tear a little bit, but if you see that motion, stop what you're doing immediately and just start pressing. And wipe your finger over and remove that excess. And some people have a dip here, right there in the middle of their bottom lip. And the key to this is don't be too hard on yourself. Be forgiving. Okay, now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put in my lip line, and you have to remember, now see, I've come here and I've come to this point and now I'm going outward. Look at your own lip in the mirror. In fact, take a photograph of your own face to start out with. But always remember that it's good when you're especially a character artist, you need to know to do other types of noses and stuff, but it's a good starting point because you see yourself every day and you know that's what you look like. So okay, now what I want to do is I'm going to push this up from the center with my thumb and close the mouth. And I feel like these top lips are just too puffy for my taste, so I'm going to go back up in here with my ball tool and calm a lot of that down. Okay. I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and I'm going to go up in here, and I'm not cutting, I'm just kind of pressing up in there to kind of make that all nice and neat inside the mouth. Oops, got a little cut there. That's okay. You can just press it out. Press it back in. Okay, now what I'm going to do, got a little tear there. So if you have a little tear, it's okay. Just put it back into place very gently. Now what I want to do is I want to add to the top of the lip, which is going to help me finish the lips in general. So I've got my ball and I'm going to cut one end of the ball off. I'm going to cut the other end off, and I'm going to make about a 1/4 inch thick piece. Okay? And then what I want to do is trim it to where, you know, it's about a fat 1/4 inch. And it's about a 1/4 inch thick. So it's a little bit beyond a 1/4 inch, a 1/4 inch thick, and I'm going to lay it right here at the top. Okay, now I'm going to take both my thumbs and I'm going to spread that out. Okay, so I've worked that in there. And then what I want to do is just press this. I'm going to use this tool I'm going to press this inward. Now, not inward to the point that I'm distorting the work I previously did. You have to remember that, especially when you've just started sculpting. So I'm just working this into the lip. And remember, whatever you do on one side, go back and do it on the other. Now I'm going to take my ball tool and smooth it out a little bit. Now, we all know that there's no bump there, so I'm going to take this tool and I'm going to make my indentation above the lip. Now it's going to look exaggerated at first. So you just kind of work with it with your hand. I'm going to press that back down. Working with it with my finger. And if I feel like I need to go back and add more clay there, I will. I mean, it's just a work in progress. You have to... One thing you don't want to do, though, is you don't want to distort your work. So now I'm taking the smaller part that I cut off the end of that, and I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to smooth it on the sides. But now I want to re-raise my lip. So I'm going to go in and up. And I'm going to take a little bit more that I trimmed off, and I'm going to put it right here because I feel like I need to build that up more. And you can see from the side. So I'm just going to press this in. Now this sat for a while, so I'm going to use my body heat, and I'm going to soften that up. Sometimes it's just needed to do that. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use my slant, pointed, and I'm pressing in and up. Taking this and I'm rolling it back into that part of my lip. Okay. And now it's becoming apart, just what I'm wanting. You have to get enough clay here to start to begin to push that back, and it meets, and then you seal it. You close up that seam there. If you don't build this up enough and you do this, you're going to end up with a lip with a hole in the middle of it, and you don't want that. That is Suki that y'all probably hear in the background. Her mother kicks her out of the room every morning because after she has slept all night, she gets wild. So, okay. And remember, the very last thing you do after you get through shaping your lip is go back and re-put in your lines. Now what I want to do is I'm going to add clay on this side. Of her lip. And I'm going to have to warm this up so that I can add it onto the other side of her lip. Okay, now I'm going to trim that off. And you can see where I trimmed it off at, right there at the edge of the top lip. And then I'm just going to work this in. Once you start shaping your lip, when you start forming the face around the lip and the work you've already done, then you kind of start going, ooh, yeah, you know, now I'm beginning to like my lips. Even though it's not your lips you're working on any longer, it's the face around the lip. It makes you realize, oh, it's coming to fruition, you know. I'm going to go and get my ball tool and smooth this out here. But I'm not trying to put a major dent in there. I'm just trying to get the seam to make a nice just to be a part of that area. Now you can see right here that adding a little bit more in this area wouldn't hurt. Add a little bit more. That's the only thing I don't like about the Primo Sculpey, is you've got to re-warm it if it sits a little too long. And when you're working with lips, you know, you have to form your lips, then add in around the lips, and then go back and work on your lips again. So now what I'm going to do is I've built that up. Now I'm coming in here and I've put in some more clay. It always helps me to go in and re-put in that line that I had in there. Come over here and work on this side. Now I added clay over here, and I'm going to come over here and do the same, and I'm going to build that up so you can see what I'm doing here. Just like I built it up in the example, I'm building it up on this side. So do this side, and I'll be back in a second.